The past few years of my life have been pretty tumultuous, if I'm being really honest, and it's over the past few years that I realized how important small daily habits and things like evening and morning routines really are. Although they are small and really unsexy, they are what lead to overall greater change. And it kind of got me thinking that the same could apply to our style and fashion habits as well. I had a client the other day, and her issue wasn't that she didn't have enough clothes or enough money to shop, or even that she didn't know her style. Her issue was that she didn't have a style routine that gave her the opportunity to build good outfits that she felt great in. So we built a routine for her together, and I can always talk about that in another video if you like. Leave it in the comments below if you'd like to know more about style routines and what that would look like. But I realized that these small, unsexy style habits are what lead to a greater overall sense of style and personal style. It also made me realize that when we skip over these style habits, we get really focused on having the perfect outfit or having good style or having the perfect closet. And when we focus so much on that end goal or end destination, we miss out on learning about what we like and what we don't like. And more importantly, we miss out on the fun. There can be fun and joy in experimentation and discovery. It sounds so cheesy, but there's really something to be said for that expression of it's about the journey, not the destination. When we start enjoying the process, we stop stalling our happiness. We stop waiting and searching for the perfect jeans or the perfect closet or the perfect whatever. Because as long as we're waiting for those things, happiness and contentment with our own closet and our style is gonna be like really elusive. Those things don't exist, okay? So let's get into it. My first style habit is to always be editing. When we open up our closets, we want it to feel like a party where we actually like everybody and there's like no one there that we want to avoid. You know what I mean? The only way to do this though is to be constantly editing and taking note of when you pass over an item a whole bunch of times and you're rarely reaching for it, or when you put on an item and it's not working for you, you're not feeling it, you've tried to style it a bunch of ways, why isn't it working? And making a critical decision as to when to let things go. When I pass over a garment several times, or if you're feeling sort of lukewarm about a garment, don't give it a declutter right away. Put it aside and see how you do without it for the next few months. I also think doing a seasonal closet edit can be really beneficial, but this can be daunting and not always sustainable. Whereas when we get into the habit of constantly looking at our closet with a critical eye and making sure that what's in there is what we like a lot and wear, then getting dressed in the morning becomes more intuitive and it becomes more easy. A helpful tool to be constantly editing is the one in, one out rule, especially if you find yourself over-consuming and shopping more than necessary. This is just an easy way to think to yourself and give yourself pause whenever you add something to your closet. Is there something that you are willing to let go of in its place? There is a total caveat to the constantly be editing habit, which is that fashion produces so much waste, and a lot of that waste comes from seriously overzealous decluttering. I often find decluttering can become a slippery slope into justifying more purchases. So this is why using that critical eye is really important when you're editing. And get into the habit of keeping that sort of maybe pile around just for a few months or a season or a year until you're really ready to let go of that item. But reducing that visual clutter is key. My second style habit is to always be curating. I'm talking about always curating and seeking inspiration. I like to look for inspiration deliberately at the beginning of every season, but I'm always screenshotting, I'm always taking photos of things when I'm out, and it doesn't have to be clothes. It can be anything that kind of hits you, anything that resonates with you aesthetically. And the reason why this is so important to developing good style style and getting dressed with ease in the morning is that it develops more self-trust in what you like and what you don't like. It also gives you a visual representation of things that you like and don't like. So you're slowly developing that sense of taste. What I like to do is just keep a general album on my phone called Style Inspiration. And then on my Pinterest, I have a fall winter board and a spring summer board. I'm constantly adding to them. I don't have a board or a specific inspiration for every year, because then I get too focused on what's current and what's trending. But when you keep that general, you pull the focus away from whatever is currently trending and you bring the focus back to you and what you like. My third style habit, which you have probably heard since the beginning of my channel, is to keep a list. I started keeping a list when I switched from a career in finance to a career in fashion, retail, and also when I moved from a house to a very small condo. Keeping a list allowed me to be very ruthless in what I brought into my closet and to not be cheap about what I brought into my closet. It allowed me to stay very laser focused on the items that I wanted, and it also allowed me to have that pause before and after a purchase. That pause allows me to appreciate and style the items I already have, but it also gives me the opportunity to really question whether I actually want or need that piece. More often than not, I put an item on my list and it kind of just falls off because I'm not that interested in it anymore. Having a list or a waiting room for the items you want to purchase reduces impulse buys. And when we reduce those impulse buys, the result is a more curated closet without all of that visual clutter that doesn't actually align with who we are and our style. So we also reduce that burden of too much choice. Okay, next you want to figure out your merchandising and maintain it. When I say merchandising, I mean that our closets should be a safe and happy and fun place that we want to spend time in. So whether it's putting all of your go-tos in one spot or making your signature pieces more accessible and front and center, the reason why this is so important is because, again, we're trying to develop habits that make getting dressed easy and fun, because that's gonna build over time and it's gonna allow us to get more creative and more comfortable with our own style and playing with our clothes. So setting up your environment in a way that encourages this is really important. Once you've set it up though, that habit of maintaining it can be really difficult. So again, make it easy. If you have a hook on the back of your door or that chair that all of your clothes pile up on, instead of using them at the end of the day, go back to the beginning of the circle. So rather than a landing pad, look at them as a launch pad. Use them to hang the outfit that you want to wear the next day. Or if there's an item that you want to be more intentional about styling, put that on the chair. It's really hard to feel motivated to get dressed when we're looking at a pile of crumpled clothes on the back of a door or on a chair. Taking those few minutes to spend a little bit of time with your clothes and being intentional about that closet maintenance can have huge effects over time. Okay, so keeping your closet tidy is a form of maintenance, but then there's all this other form of maintenance that a lot of us like to avoid, and that is your laundry and your actual clothing care routine. I still struggle with this, I'm not gonna lie. It really depends on how busy life is, but my client actually gave me this idea, and I love this idea and the inspiration behind having a clothing care routine. If it's once a week that you know you have time to iron and do laundry, make it a thing. Put in your favorite podcast, make yourself a cup of tea or whatever your beverage of choice is, or put Netflix on and just go at it. Do your laundry, do your mending, do your ironing or steaming. I actually love doing both when I have the time. It's very meditative. It takes my mind away from other things. And spending time caring for our clothes actually allows us to connect with them. I know it's weird to connect with an inanimate object, but our clothes speak to to who we are. They are what allow us to move through life in a way that feels authentic, and they are a form of self-expression. And again, it's a small habit that sets you up for success. So you know it's important, but I would like to challenge all of us to figure out a routine of clothing care that works for us. Maybe it's once a week. Maybe you literally have no time and your routine is going to the dry cleaner once a week. It's whatever it looks like to you. So I challenge you to figure out a clothing care routine, and I challenge myself as well because it's really important. Finally, a habit that is really, really fun. It's building your styling routine. We all know that when we try to get dressed and put an outfit together 2 minutes before heading out to work, when like the coffee is probably burning on the stove and the cat is meowing at you to exit at like, you know, even though it's -5 outside and you don't want to go. And for those of you who have kids, it's hectic. It's not a conducive time or environment to put your clothes together and come up with really cool outfit ideas where you actually feel good. That's like, nobody has time for that, okay? In those moments, nobody. So figure out your styling routine and make it work for you. For me personally, I like to get dressed in the morning, but also getting dressed is literally my job. I have a pretty fluid schedule. I know a lot of clients who like to get their outfit planned the night before, and it doesn't have to be down to the last earring. I think as long as you've got an idea of what separates you're gonna wear, or if you're gonna wear a dress and with what shoe, you've already got that launching pad to set you up for a good outfit that day and to feel good in your clothes that day. This could also be done once a week on a Sunday or the day before your week starts, you know, get a bunch of outfits lined up together. Doesn't mean they are set in stone, doesn't mean that you can't change things up if you don't want, but it gives you a general direction for your style for the week. So this also releases all of that decision fatigue that you have to deal with in the morning, and just by that virtue alone, you'll enjoy getting dressed more and you'll feel better about what you're wearing because it was intentional. Another really important tip to get the most out of your styling routine is to take a photo of your outfit. Whether you like it or not, whether it's of the final outfit or just during the try-on, that is totally up to you, but taking a photo gives you a bank of outfit ideas to lean on when you don't have a lot of time. Another tip for the styling routine for me is the actual trying on. I know my closet inside and out. I know the way I want to dress my body inside and out, but some of my ideas don't always work out. And usually it's at the last minute because I'm so cocky and just think everything's gonna work, and it doesn't, okay? If you are strapped for time or you don't love doing the try on and you're more of a digital or data-driven person, then wardrobe apps can be really great for this. I really like to use Index. I work with a lot of clients on Index, and it's really easy to, again, just come up with a general idea for an outfit so that you've got a guidepost for this. But beyond the styling piece, it's the routine that is so important to nail down. Again, make it fun, make it easy, pour yourself your nightly tea or put your favorite music on, something that gets you inspired. And this also doesn't have to be a huge time commitment. You could take maybe 10 minutes the night before or the time that you are commuting to work to plan your outfit for the next day if you are using an app. I'm not saying that it has to be intense and long. It's the routine, it's the tiny habit. Figure out what habit you want to add when it comes to styling. Try the habit of a daily style affirmation. And it doesn't even have to be style related, but I find particularly as women, we have a hard time feeling okay with focusing on ourselves and taking time for ourselves. So if there's a daily easy habit that you can get into, I would just try reminding yourself daily that you are worthy of spending time on yourself. Doesn't have to be an hour, can be 5 minutes. Just double checking your outfit, taking a minute to figure out what you want to wear the next day, even if it's a super loose idea. Not only do style affirmations develop our sense of style, but they can also start slowly changing our belief systems to believing that we are someone with good style. I am worthy of looking and feeling good in my clothes. That's it. It's very simple. It doesn't even have to be written down. You could just think it in your head. Because slowly, the more we think this about ourselves, this is slowly the person that we're going to become. And that can develop that self-trust piece again. And being solid in our own personal style and who we are, no matter what it looks like, even if it's not trending. So that is what I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. There are so many more style habits that we could probably talk through. Give this video a like if you learned something new. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. I do have a membership community where we go deeper into these topics and we support each other around them. So I'll leave a link for that below if you're interested. A huge thank you as always for watching, and I will see you in the next slow fashion video. Ciao.